We have arrived for the final round at the LOTTE Open, the 13th edition of this tournament, live from Sogu at Bears Best Cheongna. Fantastic day we have ahead as we get set to crown a champion. And at the end of our 3.5 hours or so yesterday, we had seen that it was Lee So-young, Chung Yun-ji, and Chae Hae-jin putting together fantastic rounds, most notably Chae Hae-jin with back-to-back rounds of 66, positing themselves into the final group once again here today. They are about halfway through their rounds, and over the course of the next 2.5 hours or so, we will find out who will be our champion this week. It was an up and down day yesterday for Chung Yun-ji, no doubt about that. Too many bogeys as she was only able to muster a 71, finds herself down by 4 strokes at the turn. Elsewhere, just because there may not be as many contenders for the lead, there is still lots of movement as the rest of the field tries to classify themselves. Some great days, including Bae So-hyun in progress. She is 2 under through 11 holes. Jae Bun bouncing back after a +4 yesterday. She is 5 under halfway through her round, though she is on the other side of the course. 7.5 meter putt for birdie for Chae Hae-jin. Our first look at her this afternoon, and let me tell you, we will get an early indication of just how dialed in she is today. Why not? Hole out from 7.5 meters. 2 bogeys, 3 birdies. She is 1 under par at the turn, up to 16 under. That is a 4-stroke gap over Chung Yun-ji. My name is Adam Jenkins. We are so grateful here at SBS Golf that you have decided to make us a part of your Sunday afternoon. Degrees and broken skies today, mix of sun and cloud. In shot, 65 meters out, it's Kim Yo-ju. Matched her round from Thursday yesterday with a 69. She's at 2 under through 10 as she plays that approach up and stops on the back right fringe. Let's go back to 9. Last to finish here is Lee So-young. Watches as that ball agonizingly fades away. That would have brought her level Chung Yun-ji at 12 under. Settles for a tap-in par and is out with an even 36 through 9 holes. She had been the clubhouse leader, at least sharing some of that. Excuse me, 1 shot off the clubhouse leader, which was Jae Bun. The 67, just 1 stroke further behind. Here's the approach for Ho Da-bin. She had some struggles yesterday, a lot of borderline hooks, drawing the ball right to left and missing a lot of greens. Good to see that she has, at least on this hole, eliminated that from her game. And yesterday, Lee So-mi had been the talk of the course with a 66, matching the tournament low. Only 1 under, though, through 9 holes. Finds herself in the greenside bunker at 10, blasting it up, and she is right on line. It's a fantastic recovery shot, and still has a good look at a birdie as she tries to make a push for a podium place here this weekend. Onwards to 11. Bae So-hyun finding herself in the rough off the tee, and Trying to go right at the fringe to keep it short, but she is short of her target and will plunk that down into the sand. First looks at 12 today, and that is awfully close to the water. It's a fairly kind pin placement, must be said. Middle of the green. Maybe slightly offset to the left, but from where we have seen it in other days this tournament, that is a very reachable pin today. Ju at the left perimeter of the hole and not going to drop for her.
하겠습니다.
Well, she is comfortably ahead. Far from the finish line. There's a reason we play 72 holes, not 54, not 62. Gotta go the distance, but very few indications to suggest that anybody but herself will be able to prevent her from the win. That's a nicely played putt at the back of the hole. Trying to go up and down for birdie. So me now up into a tie for 4th position. 3rd birdie of the day. One bogey early in the round has her just one back of Lee So-yeon. Lee So-yeon for a par left herself with too much to do, unfortunately. We're seeing lots of Sunday red, which is apropos for the Lotte Open. About 6 feet, maybe more. Mistaking the ball marker for the cup. It's Hoda Bean looking at a birdie, but indications almost immediately that she was offline. Well, we have a moment. Let us take a look at the leaderboard. Jae Jean, 4-stroke advantage. The tee shots have been played at 9. Lee So-mi fresh off that birdie at 10. Level with Kim Yo-ju, Kim Ji-soo. Pei So Hyun, Park Ju Young, both at 9 under. The one is over par. Jae Bun, as mentioned, she is 5 under, playing her final hole of her front 9 out on the Australasian course. And how about a word on the amateur Yang Hyo Jin, who is 4 under today and is just outside the top 10, up 20 spots from where she started the day. Definitely someone we will keep an eye on. If she gets a birdie at 18, she'd be in the top 10. It is the final round of the Lotte Open. We will have more from Bears Best after a short break. Stay with us. resume our coverage. Also on the 10th hole, Kim Ji-soo. The shorts tap in birdie, her first of the day after all pars through the opening 9. She moves level with Lee So-young. And in the end, it is unfortunately a bogey for Bae So-young. That will drop her 8 back. She has double the score that she's been able to amass through what is now 7/8 of the tournament. Just unfortunately starting to fade away. Kim Yoon-ji. She certainly went for it and delivered yesterday. Again with the wood in hand. Going for the green. Will she escape the rough? She's a little bit short today. She had been on the other side of the green yesterday. Not the worst spot, considering that would be an up and down for a birdie. Ji-hyun 3 playing 7-iron at 11, her approach. A little bit more bite as she goes to about the middle of the green. Jae-jean is going to be about level. It shows you the wind's a little bit different today, and the sun and the rain, of course, is playing a bit softer today. Goes to 11, 9-iron, buck 17. Kim Yoo-ju just through the fairway, narrowly into the rough, and is going to get stuck there again if she doesn't slide all the way down into the sand. Again, going aggressive, she tries to leap up. Someone who is also 170 centimeters, I feel that pain. Would that be 7-iron? Officially 14 yards off the front and 11 yards from the left. This pin today. How about that?
Nice shot.
So I'm not even going to bother. Trying to reach. She lays up into the fairway. This her third at 10. 104 to go. Just a wedge. Back right is where she wants to be. And back right is where she's going. Going at about 7 meters for her birdie. 8-iron. Also going to work her way towards the pin. 2 brilliant tee shots. One from the group on 12. And the good news for Kim Yoo-ju is she did not roll down the hill. She stays in that rough, grabs the highest lofted club in her bag, punches it up, and is going to get a good little roll. The bar has been set pretty high, so Bae So-hyun can muster. A little bit more to the right than she needed to be to bring that roll back towards target, but not a bad effort by any stretch of the imagination. From the rough, about 6 feet for a birdie. First effort from Jae-Hee, which almost goes without saying at this point in the round. Back to 11. ENG on 3. It's an uphill putt for birdie. Reaches back for a little extra. On its way to the right. Not quite gonna go. Tap and par. Will preserve her score for one more hole. Also nicely played. So 22 birdies here today. Might have a couple more, only 5 bogeys, no higher. Also shorts as Kim Yo-Ju had been, but this time it's a pretty definitive realization that she's in the sand. So Young, the first to putt for birdie. Thought for a moment she had it. Kim Ji-soo. Decent iron shot. Able to reach. Won't be as simple a birdie as her last as she tries to stitch 2 in a row. Chung Eun-ji, yes. Keeps herself in the fight. The most important thing for her today is there has been an elimination of the bogeys that plagued her yesterday. It was close. Just enough. Now does Jae-Hee respond? Average putt today has only been 5 yards. .484, it is the shortest par 5 by quite some margin. Also gonna get that late break to the right. Shouldn't be as drastic though. She overcompensated. Thought that was really gonna go and started a couple of feet to the left. Never wanted to come back. She holds that out for par. Shrink her lead to 3 once again. It's E.J. Young on 11. And that's why it's the perfect display of why grazing the fringe is the best way to play. Number 11. Jae-Hee stays at 16. Unable to capitalize on a birdie. 8 holes, and the advantage is 3. Back to 12. This will have some serious movement to the left, maybe even too much. Could use a smidge more power. number 11, this dog leg left, par 4, downhill from the tee box, aiming towards that sand trap, only for the bravest of souls to try and go over. We've seen maybe half a dozen today actually be able to clear that sand trap. Now they often find themselves in the rough. It's only 2 who have gone over the sand and stayed in the fairway. From there, the approach shots. You have the big bunker on the right, which is the one that we're seeing plenty of with the pin placement today. 7 yards off the front and 5 from the right. Slightly higher than par, the average score, 4.03 strokes in round number 4. G want to be pretty brave. Maybe a false sense of not security, but maybe overconfidence after her first birdie of the round. And Jean-Marie also knew that wasn't going to go for her. Secures her par on number 12. Young also high lofted. This is running in towards the flag. I tell you, these pros make the short game look so easy when it is anything but. Jean maybe took a note, seeing Jung Yoon-ji go for it and suffer the consequences, just going with a 5-wood, but got way too much underneath it. Nowhere near the power she would expect. She was a little bit disgusted with that tee shot. Jae Young trying to get to 8 under, gesturing for the ball to get back to the left. The big stick in hand for Lee So-young, last to tee off. Over torquing, looking for a bit of extra power, and into the rough, but that is the kinder rough as she clears the sand trap and has the longest drive of the trio. And it is not particularly close. Puzzled. Best way to describe her reaction to missing her birdie at 12. Kim Ji-soo uphill. Knew it was close. Bent at the knees and maybe saying a little last prayer to the golf gods. So all pars at 12. All pars at 11. This is now all pars at 12. Simplistic tap-ins for Payson to stay where she was when she reached the hill overlooking the green. That is where we find Isomi now. Seven in the bag. And all the way to the back left. A little bit of a roll, but not much help. Keep the van there. I can't blame her. There's a lineup. Take a load off. Maybe visualizing. If I get the ace, I take this home with me. She is certainly a character. And when you're top 10 in the world, you can get away with stuff like that. Also a 7. Three-quarter swing. Thinks this might be great. Coming on back down. He's right. Wonderfully executed. The secret is to grab a seat in the van and visualize. Jean, her second 6-iron. She's birdied this hole every single round. How will she set herself up? Uh-oh. Maybe the seeds of doubt have been planted. Mr. Birdie at 10. Had a poor wedge shot. Wood shot, excuse me, that left her with a lot. Not the club she wanted to be playing from the fairway. And now to the fairway bunker. Modified swing as this is above Chung Ying-ji's feet. And couldn't catch it clean, kind of topped it. That will help Jean breathe just a little bit easier. You can practice all types of lies and stances, but when you're so used to playing out of the grass, swinging down at the ball, and you have to change it up, even the very best can have one thing out of that swing not clicking, and you get shots like that. Only 71 birdies here on 11 all week. It's playing a very difficult hole. Pin placement today doing no favors. So far, the most uneventful foray through this dog leg left for So Young. All day long, the only player who has been able to eagle this hole is Kochi One. It's the only time she has been birdie or lower on a hole, ironically. Down in 66th with 3 birdies and 2 double bogeys in the round. Chung Yoon-ji, one shot closer. On the par 3. Lengthy downhill putt. 8.9 meters. Needs to get right. Starts 2. It's a really good effort. And here's how that be. 140 meters out. Get it up with the 7-iron, but not enough through the hill. It'll roll slightly back towards the front. A tricky putt next. Ju for birdie, yes! Third of the day and her first since she opened the round with back-to-back. Tied for third now. With Lee So-young and Kim Ji-soo. A little bit of damage control. Just set up a par. Uses the spin, but not enough of it. She's going to be close to the fringe. That's well within her range. There's no doubt she's lost a little bit of that outwardly bubbly persona. Tension obviously rising. And so the par keeps her 10 under, 2 under for the day. Such drama for Chung Yoon-ji, who was almost able to pull out. Drive in the sand, struggles to get out for 2. Third sends her short, her fourth puts her up. So she did have her drama, but just a little bit earlier in the hole. From 12. Over the water, but heading right. The door open for Lee So-young. Would take almost a miraculous putt. Sets herself up for a 2-putt par. Number 12. The true test of Bears' best Chung Na. True tests of even the very best. Ji-young. Doesn't mess about by being short. And that rough separating the green and the sand. Back to 11. Needs this. Avoid a bogey. Not gonna go. birdieing this hole 3 consecutive days. She finds bogey number 3, and that drops her back down to where she had started the day at 15 under. And luckily for her, she's not the only bogey. So a par perfect front 9, birdie 10, bogey 11. So down to 15 and 12 under respectively. Being uphill, downhill, but offline. She's sticking around at top 10, but hasn't really been able to lay claim to a spot within it. Do I putt? Do I chip? How thick is the rough? Can I even putt? I think wedge is probably the club of choice. You would take a similar swing as the putter, but that is why she is professional. And I have a microphone. She's decided on the flat stick. Now it's a matter of picking out the break point. She's down 3 spots from where she had started the day at +2, which is the highest score of anyone in the top 24. Lee Ji Hyun 3 is +2, as are Lee Jung Min and Kim Soo Ji. Kim Bo-mi 3 unfortunately has the distinction of the highest round thus far at +6 through 12 holes. Nope, she's second guessed again. Personally, I think it's too thick a rough to try and attempt. Grab your wedge, swing a little bit harder than you would with the putter, but keep it level to the ball, and it'll be just fine. So the right decision was made. Came close. Did have no drama with the par coming back up the hill. Just the thing with the putter there is if you top it a little bit, you're not getting out of the rough. If you get underneath it, you're not getting out of the rough. It just seems like there's too much margin of error to risk it. So we go to 17. Oh Soo Min, the amateur. 9-iron on our final par 3 of the day. Brilliant. She's on pace to be over par for just a second time this tournament, but another top 50 finish as an AM is no small feat. 13, Pae So Hyun, shortchanged. Our featured group is patiently waiting atop the hill, watching how the penultimate group fares. Kim Ji-soo. Not enough to get it all the way back up the hill. The last hope for a birdie belongs to Jae-young. Starts this couple of feet to the left of the hole. Here it comes. Needed, well, more than what she had granted herself. Let's go to 13. Kim Yo-ju finding the rough off the tee. 154 and a 6-iron. Misaligned by quite some margin. She's hooked that pretty severely and is off out by the trees. Mentioned Lee Jung-min and the fact that she has unfortunately been over par today. Plays her approach. That's much better. Vintage Lee Jung-min. Some of the round 3 highlights for our leader, especially how she played 12. Favor to the 8. She thought, uh-oh. No bueno. But as we know, how she recovered, she flies that out, and the backspin is unbelievable. Able to get up and down for a par. She could hardly put a foot wrong yesterday. After the bogeys, and belongs to Lee So-young. Sharing 3rd position right now with 3. There's 1 back for Chung Yoon-ji. 4 off the lead. She played the par 3s really well yesterday. After a decent start, she was flirting with disaster, however. Swing is perfect. What's the end product? Looks clearly a bit deceiving as she's all the way to the left fringe. Kim Soo-ji on 14. That's gonna feel good. On a day that has not had enough of these by her standards. 66 yesterday. Just Start of the day at 6 under. Finds herself 5 under now after that birdie. And last but most certainly not least, Jean. And you stay well away from the bunker. This is looking right. And it's short. Oh boy, she has a nasty case of the yips right now. Yeah, that says it all, the grimace. The last thing she wants to do is go for a swim right now. There, the last group to play 12. Time to pick up the lawn chairs and journey down the path. Let's go back to Kim Yo-Ju, see how she manages to recover here. Should be okay to go high. And she'll go right to the tree. Just no spin on that at all. See you later. Can probably keep that lob wedge in hand. All right, Kim Soo-ji had a birdie. Now Lee Jung-min. Downhill putt on its way. Doesn't get over. Settles for a par. There's a fair bit of potential landing area here, but it will be downhill past the hole. Control's important. Just a touch more, but that is what she'll be facing for a bogey putt. Just hasn't been consistent enough in this final round, unfortunately. Well, this certainly could have been a great deal worse. It's not simple. It's not enviable. It could have been worse. Her great recovery yesterday when she missed the green. She's going to need another today. 11 meters out. A little bit slow, and it is still a rather lengthy uphill putt to avoid a bogey again. Significantly drama-free for Lee So-young, just patiently waiting her turn. Doing a little recon while she waits. Jin starting the long way back. Picking up speed. How's the line? It's going to be a bit right, but we'll stop comfortably in par range, which could be enough if Jae-Jean can finish her putt. will be a bogey. KLPGA will be hoping it is just one drop shot. Decent recovery from a 13th hole gone awry. Could have completely capitulated when she went left past the green, but goes up and down and only drops one. And tied for 5th with Isomi. So Young can swap out for P2. Just not able to hang on to the line long enough. That was a big, big moment for her. Settles for her par. From the fairway. Third shot on the par 5, right at the flag. Still in blazing hot pursuit of the top 10 finish, but only 1 under today. She's going to need to turn in a few more birdies. She bogeys again. Her lead is just 2. She's made much tougher putts than this, but the pressure is as high as it's been all week to save a par. Just hovered over the edge for a moment. The ball got the message that a little bit of extra drama was encouraged. That's a big save. And 13 is where our group is headed. Pak Ju-young goes up strongly. Jae-Jean delivers. Not quite as long, but still high stakes. Shouldn't phase Chun Yoon-ji, but they are human. And humans make mistakes. A little bit extra she applied on that putt, trying to make sure she got all the way. But she overcooks it, and it's back-to-back bogeys. Wow. We will mark that down and remember this on 12. You just did a big, big favor to a group mate that she did not want or need to do. Kim Ji-soo also flashes the ball up quite impressively. Should be a couple of birdies out of that lot. Where we're headed next. Par 12 is the arch villain, but this no walk in the park either. 40-degree drop-off from the top of the green in towards the reeds. And as Kim Yeon-ju had just displayed for us, going left is not particularly helpful either. And so Young will still be the first to play. She is driving the ball with all kinds of gusto. Couldn't hope for a much better drive than that. Sets the standard pretty high. And 14, the final par 5 of the day. It's a big time putt for Kim Ji-soo. Picks up her birdie. Jin taps that lead foot, but where is it going to go? It's headed left. That's actually not too bad of a lie, all things considered, what it could have been. But the yips are there. Just needs one hole to reset, get her bearings back. 14 should be it for her. She's got to take care of this par 4 first. Back-to-back birdies. That trend has to change in a hurry. Takes out some of her frustration on that drive. Well struck. Back to 14. Little tap, but away it goes. She just has not been able to do herself any favors today, unfortunately. One under through 14 holes. Back to Young, she's +2. Trying to get back to +1 for the day. That putter a little bit cold right now. 2-putt par. Kim Ji-soo can take outright second. She lets that opportunity slip through her fingers. To the party hole that is 17. So Young gets hole high, but left. The drives are supposed to be the least exciting part of this hole. And for 2 of the 3 members of our featured group, that held true. So it's 211 meters and left. 151 to go. Based on this camera angle, that tree should not be causing her any problems. Awkward lie though, she is well above the ball. Swinging down and through. Lays up, and that is the common sense strategy. Yes, she has a bit of margin, but also yes, this is not a hole to be too courageous with. And the door's open for Chung Yunji. 143, straight look down. Needs to be back right. Not too right, but back right. She's able to get up. Is at 6 under, playing an 8-iron. Oh my, okay. Talk about an exceptional tee shot from Nassim Genie. Exceptionally calm right now for Lee So-young. That's lovely. Very, very well done. Third shot on the par 5, 14th. Kim Ju. Just a sliver, over 100 meters to go. Up she goes with the pitching wedge. Full swing, onto the fringe. Now theoretically, this should be a straightforward shot. Take the full wedge, head to the back. It's precisely what she does, but that backspin, she's just gonna be able to stay up. Needed the wedge of that much loft for the control. And for a moment it looked like she was gonna roll on back, but gets herself up well. That was her third shot though. So she's faced with that for par. And now he's so mean. Half swing. She's going right at it. Oh, little curl back to about a foot and a half away from an eagle. We can certainly not forget about her in these final 90 minutes or so. She's about to go to 11 under, which should be tied for second position depending on what Lee So-young and Chung Yun-ji are able to do. Park Ju-young still +2 through 13 as we reach another break. Stay with us. We'll take a quick pause and be back for more from Bears Best. Welcome back. We are finishing up hole number 13 with our featured group. So Young does so with a birdie. So Me also has a birdie on 14. Final par 5 of her round, down to the final 4. She is in fantastic bit of form. She has been all weekend long. So with the birdie for Iso Young, Jean has to par this to keep her lead at 3. Otherwise, it is only 2 with 5 holes to play. Exciting for the neutral, troublesome for Jean, but the putter has been her best friend. Fortunately, let's her down here. Her struggles off the tee and with the iron play have been noticeable the past hour. 4th bogey of the day, 2nd of the back 9. She is over par for the round. Series approach on the par 5. Oh, that's beautiful. No mucking about for her. He's so young. She wants to keep this momentum rolling. Orthodox swing, but my goodness, has it ever been effective. Not just this week, but over the course of her career. I mean, Ginny, of course, she was going to have this. Smile after her exquisite tee shot. And all Jean wants here is a good swing, no drama, find the fairway. Some trepidation. She's right on the border of the rough, but is going to stay in the fairway. She needed that. Just as she needs a par to break the spell. Let's check in on Dr. Young. Quite as dazzling, but she gets up. reasons why there's no solid roof is because it's a temporary stand. But another reason is it makes the t-shirt cannon possible. So yeah, that's the strategy. I'm not going to throw it and risk not reaching. I'll just hand you the ball. This will take out right 7th. It's not going to have the legs to get all the way to the hole. The putter to move the ball marker to allow her to finish off. We'll report back if it's anything but par. It's the second cut just off the fairway before the rough. Needs to be better here with the 5 wood. 285 remains. That looks miles better, and is. That was the club that sort of started her off stumbling. She had topped it. Kim Ji-soo, she worked hard for this moment. What she has sown. She also goes to 12 under. A share of a runner-up with this young woman. He's so young. .281 for her. Continues on the straight and narrow. Hybrid instead of 5 wood. Starts this a little bit right, but comes back. No drama through shots 1 and 2 for a featured group on 14. Time is not on the side of Kim Yo-ju here. Needs to put together a run of birdies. Just before the sand, 115 from the fairway. Unable to stay on that top rise. It'll work a little bit closer to the fringe. Just lacking that little bit of pinpoint accuracy today. And we'll head over to 18. Perfectly in the center of the fairway, 234. The drive, 131 remains. The pin today is about a third of the way through the depth of this hole and 8 yards from the right side. Trying to get into the top 10, Imjini, after her birdie. She is on some kind of run right now. .71 in both the first and second round. She went 3 under yesterday. Is on pace for another round of 69. 106 from the fairway for Isomi. 2/3 of a swing with this wedge. It's going to skid most of the way down to the fringe. About a 7-meter uphill putt for a birdie. Setup shots. First from my leader, only 94 meters. With the same wedge, Karam's a little bit to the left. Avian spectator in the background is coming to observe Jung Yoon-ji's shot. That's lovely. Even gets that tail back with the backspin. Should get her back to even within 2. We are in a shootout. And it just starts to feel like a playoff might be necessary. Jung Soo-yeon. Slow day for her, but that's certainly the highlight. Pulls out from the fringe on 18. Takes her to 4 under par. +1 though in the final round. Pretty consistent and impressive wedge play. Most recent from Lee So-young and everybody on the 15th green. And Jeannie, she will hope will be her final shot of the day, is her final shot of the day. 71, 71, 69, 69. For a aggregate score of 280 for the tournament. Quick math. Tied for 7th and up 9 spots from our shoot start of the day. Great weekend for her. There you see her leading the names, T7. Bears Best is an absolute delight, as is the views behind it and throughout this 27-hole facility. Designed by the Golden Bear himself. Jung Yo-jin confirmed at 6 under with a 69 today, tied for 16th for the amateur. So Jean, the defending champion, just outside of the top 15. Identical, 69 for the day, 6 under for the tournament. Keep cascading through the names. Well, her group mates and the groups around her certainly applying the pressure. Jean after her bogey. Can she get it right back? Oh, she was close. It's almost a foregone conclusion at this point that it will be her highest round of the tournament. On pace for a 73 with just 4 holes remaining. Advantage to her group mates, and most notably Lee So-young, who can move within 1 with a birdie. The committed, excuse me. Patrons are being treated to an exciting finish here at the 13th Lotte Open. Never in the history of this tournament have we seen somebody win the event twice. Already mentioned Sung Eugene last year was 15 under to take the top prize. China Na in 2021, 6 under. Tournament record 23 under from Mean when it was just a 3-round event, 65, 62, 66. How about that back in 2018? So-young, a long way out. Can she move within 1? She'll settle for a par as well. Certainly not out of it yet. It's been a yearly tradition since 2011. Not even the pandemic could delay it. Used to be known as the Lotte Cantata Women's Open. It's been just the Lotte Open since 2021. It's Kim Yo-ju, get over ball. Just hangs up on the side. She won it back in 2020 with a combined 18 under performance. Big bounce back. Great to see for Jung Eun-ji. Back to even for the day. All pars through 9, 2 birdies, 2 bogeys through the first 5 holes of the back 9. Now So-mi. Chance to move into a tie for second, but she's pulled it. Two-putt par for her as well. Just cooling off a touch towards the end. Over to 17, 9-iron, Kim Soo-ji. We're used to, at this point in the season, seeing a victory for her. Has not been able to find one yet this season. She did win the big Hana Financial Group Championship last year. This is just how long it takes for her to return to the winner's column. 15, 330 meters this par 4 with a very, very narrow fairway all the way up to the green. And just past that drop to the left is where we find the pin today. 12 yards off the front and 9 from the left border. Quite the final round. Maybe even feeling a little bit less pressure not being in the featured group, final group. Maybe just not mastering this Bears Best Changna course. Birdie boost. Two. And the swing of 2 is very doable in a 4-hole span. Those bogeys have to be done though for the week. Kaput, no mas, fini. Nice drive to get it started. So Young, the 77th ranked golfer in the worlds. And a top 5 finish in the season opener, at least in the 2023 portion. Also tied for 5th in the final 2 events of 2022. Top 5, I should say. Runner-up, the Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Tied for 4th at the PLK Pacific Links Korea Championship with SBS Golf. Outside of the top 50 last week. The last win came at the Taewoon Ambient Ladies Open last season. Here's Kim Soo-ji. Oh, grazes that outside edge or inside edge of the hole. Just past it. Further, if not for the sprinkler head. That's more like it. Very much in the home stretch of the Lotte Open. 2 shots separates Chae Jin from Kim Ji-soo, Lee So-young, and Chung Yoon-ji. Lee So-mi on 16, 3 under for the day, 4 back. It is quite the finish that we are in store for. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are enjoying bringing it to you. We'll pause and be back with more in Incheon shortly. Welcome back. We pick things up on 16. It is a 9-iron on the approach. Kim Yo-Ju out with her group mate at the back left of this green. So Young prepares for her shot on 15. And it's a good one, maybe even a great one. Jane, 54-degree wedge, only 88 meters to overcome. So Young teeing off on 17. And putting herself within about 7 feet. It's quite the effort. And back to 16, the long way over. No dice, unfortunately, for Isong this time through.
Still got a little.
So Young from Chung Yun-ji, excuse me, from basically the French. At about 5 feet. It's a long way off. That's right at the hole, narrowly missing right. Two putts, tap in for Kim Yo-Ju. Final stages of her round now. We'll get an answer on what that roar is momentarily. Big moment for Jae-Jin. Ball's coming back. Oh, thought it was gonna go. Just hangs out right. He's had every opportunity to truly break away from the field here, but birdies have been luxury for her today that she has not been able to enjoy. There's the answer to what our roar was. Don't look now, but here she comes. Next offering on 16, all the way to the back, and we'll stop off. And so Young also allows a look for birdie to go missed. Takes center stage on 17. That close. It's tough not to get in your head and feel like the sport, the course, is conspiring against you when birdies are as hard to come by as they have been for Hoda Bin today. Chun Yun-ji must make, does make. It was a little bit too run-of-the-mill, drama-free on the United States course. This Australasian back nine has offered her a whole lot more excitement. Isn't always a good thing, but it's starting to feel like it might be for her. So Young really taking her time with this par. Stakes as high as they are, can't falter for that. Just trying to stay loose. It's gonna stop. Sophie's turn to tee off on 17 at 11 under. Further to the back than would be ideal. there's a moment that these pros can reach. Late in the rounds where it's just buckle down time. It's definitely that right now for Chung Yun-ji if she wants to stay in the hunt. Birdie at the last goes a long way to helping her. Good starts for Lee So-young as well. Patiently waiting her turn. It will all be decided in the next 30 minutes. That is, of course, unless we need a playoff. Maybe, just maybe, the clock has struck midnight on this Cinderella story here. Ju 8-iron on 17. Everything she does will be met with that kind of raucous ovation. She is quite understandably a fan favorite. It's tight. 16, 17, and 18. 2 par 4s and a par 3. All that remains. Jae-Hae-jin leads by 2 over Lee So-young and Chung Yun-ji. Seeming like it'll all come down to our featured group, Chunari, Hodabin, and company on 18, trying to put together one last birdie in their day. Stick with us, getting close to the end, but still lots of golf to be played here at Bears Best. go then back at 16. The approach shot from Jung Yoon Ji. It's about the right depth, but not taking any chances with the water by staying right. So Young next, 139 and an 8 iron. That is worst case scenario. That is precisely why Jung Yoon Ji did not risk it. You can see the ripples as that ball is most definitely wet. And this late in the competition, that might just be the final blow to her chances of winning this thing. How quickly things can change. Chae Jin second. Wouldn't be surprised to see her quite left. Take no chances. Or maybe not. She'll go at it. You like to see the courage, the bravery. She has not had a podium finish in a while. In fact, it was the 2022 Canadian Women's Open from the Ottawa Hunt and Golf Club, which is just a few hours away from where I am here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Here's Hoda Bean on 18. Oh, that's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Give one more for the fans. Awfully close to sending that section into bedlam. It's not the result that she would have wanted today. That's at the stage of her career where, of course, she wants to win. That goes without saying, but she understands her role is also almost as much as an ambassador for this sport in this country, and she does such a good job at being a wonderful representative. She's looking for any way out, but we saw the ripples, and I would be shocked if there is any other option but water. So now it's about where does she drop. Zisomi also close, but not quite there. Chunari on 18, playing her third. It was a good up, but still a little bit left to try and save a par. Finding the sand. So it goes from, where do I drop to? Where's it gonna break? Playing the long putt. It's really good efforts, but it's not going to do a whole lot to make her feel better about the unfortunate conclusion to this hole. Being on 18. It's close, but it's going to need one more touch of the putter. And this looks promising. ENG comes close to a birdie. She'll settle for par. Par 3 and a par 4. She's running out of time. Speaking of 17, which will be next. Penultimate grip is there. Park Ju-young. It's a soft strong. Jean to return to 15 under par. There it goes. Oh, just short. So she pars just as her closest challenger had done. The timing of this song, Shivers, is about right for the stage of the tournament. Playing free, Kimchi, so she's like, yeah, I was that close to this. I did that. Tiptoeing closer and closer. Will not fall. So Jenna Marie in this final round ends, unfortunately, with the second bogey today. Back to where she started the day, 7 under, as she exits the course. And now for the bogey. Unfortunately, played a dangerous game. She fell victim. Can't fault the bravery, but her first bogey of the day comes at the most inopportune time. Down into a tie for third. Yes! What a big moment. Hoda being a birdie at the last, just as she had birdied her 9th. Out with 35, in with a 35, a 70 for the day. and 9 under par is where she will finish. We are awfully close to the end, and we see Lee So-young drop off a little bit into relative obscurity. Now 3 back. Jae Jin 2 holes away from her first win since 2020. A couple of pars should be enough to at least guarantee a playoff. A birdie and one of the final 2 holes probably wins it for her. It is 3:13 local time here in Sogu, the wonderful city of Incheon. We'll be back after this short pause. All she can do is grit her teeth and smile in frustration as we need one more tap of the ball to finish the hole out. We go to 18 with Lee So-mi, 7-iron. Does she have one last great approach today? It's not a poor approach, but I don't know that that classifies as exceptional. Could have used a little bit more. It might roll all the way back to the fringe even. Kim Ji-soo suffers the same fate. She can't believe it. I think it's that they're pros. They've saying just about everything, but sometimes I think, and, well, it's not the only reason that they play this sport, this stage of the tournament, those putts cost money in terms of potential earnings. Ju, the approach on 18. Great kick. Come on now. Brilliant. G. Not quite has to be, not quite at the point where it has to be a birdie, but she's looking for something a little bit more than that. It would be probably unofficially done and dusted. Che Jing can find a birdie. Here's her tee shot. The crowd waits in anticipation. It's probably not. Won't counter out just yet, but not where she needed it to be.
여기 왔을 때는
Well, we're at the stage with so few groups left on the course. The breaks come thick and fast. Of course, after the 18th is finished, whoever is our champion, if we're not going to a playoff, we will hear from them. We will go through the round highlights and then get you the greenside presentation. And what a wonderful evening it will be as a 13th different champion is crowned as the winner of the Lotte Open. Getting close with putts and then 18 only remaining. Stick with us here at Bears Best. 17. Chae Jean. She can just about ice it. And she's going to leave us waiting to the very end, unable to capitalize. Two-putt par, she grimaces a little bit, knowing what that putt could have meant. Even a two-stroke lead is not safe. A bogey and a birdie and playoffs are required. And she's had the yips. It's going to be very fascinating. Kim Yo-Ju with one last highlight for her round. Will finish sharing the podium. 4 birdies, 1 bogey. Nice finish for the world number 10. Here we go then. Here we go. He's so young. That's unofficially the end of her pursuit. Came unglued with that birdie at the last. Too much to overcome. Isomi for par. Gets it. What a weekend. 3 under today. 66 yesterday. She'll share the podium with the aforementioned Kim Yo-Ju. And Jung Yoon-ji for the drama. Oh. Just burns the outside edge. Approaches on 18. That is just about perfection. What a final round she is putting together. This is probably not ideal timing for Chae Jean with 144 million won and the tournament at stake, but nice to see them engaging with the supporters. Ultimately, it's what it's all about. The golf is important, but without the viewership at the course and on the broadcast, the purses aren't as high, the prestige isn't as high. They understand their duty to the public, and everybody this week, to their credit, has performed it with lots of smiles and engagements. It's been nice to see. Park Ju-young, she is playing this approach shot from the rough, 150 out. Look at that. She saw the challenge that had been issued to her from the group mates and responds. That is about as tight a grouping as you're going to get around a pin. Minutes from now, she could be a champion again. She's starts off on the right foot. Par is probably enough. Mathematically, she could still be pipped by an eagle, but no drama. She's done enough birdieing already. Just about trying to see it out, and look at the size of the crowd. That is absolutely wonderful to see. So starts this hole tied for third. Finds the fairway with her drive. Wonderful images, just as these are. Bang, shaped with the perfect little draw. It was the SK Telecom ADT Caps Championship back in 2020. The last time she won an event in her professional career. She has taken her incredible talents to the LPGA Tour, so we don't get to see her as much on the LPGA Tour of Korea anymore as she pursues chase to be the best in the world, and she's up in that top 25, which is no small feat. Park Ju-young, this to get inside of the top 10. Tied for 8th. It was a frustrating day at times with the 74, the only time all week she went over par. She's the only player in the top 18 who is over, but great finish to her day. Kim Ji-soo also with a chance for birdie, and a birdie made. Tied for a podium finish. Her highest round of the week, but enough to share at least in the interim with Lee So-young, Kim Yo-ju, and Lee So-mi. Can we go 3 for 3? Oh, unfortunately not. So 74 in the final round, 69, 70, 69, 74. 6 under, tied for 15th. And the green clears, and it comes down to 3. She's going to get a helpful kick closer to the green, but she sliced that a little bit. Stays on the hill. It would be the 19th top 3 finish in her career, the 6th for third, unless she's able to hole out and find a birdie to push on Yoon-ji for that runner-up position. .143. Front right, if we were to pick the description. Into the wind slightly as well. 2-putt should be no problem for her from there. And to consider, Kim Yoon-ji had missed the cut last week at the 11th E1 Charity Open. The tournament she had won the year before. It's a big bounce back week. She's going to get a helpful slide back. She needs to hole out and hope it's a 3-putt. Otherwise, it is done and dusted. It would be the 4th runner-up finish in her career. 2022 truly was her big breakout. First time on the podium came back in 2021. She has been definitely a momentum player. Kept herself for the most part inside the top 100 in the world. And dipped out towards the end of the summer, but since, we'll call it mid-October, she has been up there. Kim Yo-ju ready to douse whomever is the winner, and we have a feeling on who it's going to be. Two compatriots who represent this country so well on the LPGA Tour, I'm sure two acquaintances as well. Here are the greenside announcements, the arrival announcements for the future.
다음은 KLPGA 통산 8승 롯데 소속 최혜진 프로입니다. 자, 마지막으로 KLPGA 통산 1승 NH투자증권 소속 정윤지 프로입니다.
She's never backed down from an occasion. Delivered in some of the biggest tournaments in the world. A runner-up in 2017 of the US Women's Open. Last year, she finished 3rd at that same tournament. Here's Lee So-young from the rough. Brushes that through the fringe to slow it down. We'll have about 7 feet for a par. And for this number of people, shockingly quiet, a very well-behaved gallery. We could have 3 Lotte sponsored athletes on the podium this week for the Lotte Open. Two of those 3 representing the brand, the company across the world. Two putts and it's hers, or she can just go ahead and finish with one final birdie. Here, a pin drop for Jae Jin. Here it goes. It's awfully close. Off and waits for the spotlight to rightfully shine fully on her. Future Young's little one. Maybe a future KLPGA pro in her own right. Giving her Ju. With the camera in hand, she wants to document this moment. I'll be straight to the gram. Chung Yoon Ji for birdie to put the pressure on. Needs to come left. It is narrowly out wide. So a par. The runner-up. 72 today, 69 round one, 64 Friday, 71 yesterday. Brilliant as she's on the podium once again on the LPGA Tour of Korea. To secure her place on the podium. A downhill putt for par. And she's got it. Great finish to a formidable week for Lee So-young. But now, a moment that never gets old. The two combatants who just couldn't keep pace with Chae Hae-jin. 23 years old, and a putt to win the Lotte Open. Well, there's no place like home. An 11th title in the career of Chae Hae-jin. She was almost untouchable all week long, and for the first time in what will feel like 2.5, almost 3 very long years. We're waiting, and here comes the shower. I thought Ji-young gets a little bit of help as well. There's Lee Ju. Sneak attack. This the crowning moment. 2 years in the making. 69, 66, 66, and 73. The champion once again and playing every bit to the title this week. As she tops the fields at Bears Best in Cheongnan, the 13th different winner of the Lotte Open. Retrospect, maybe we could have picked up last week that she would be a contender, she would be a favorite after her tie for 7th finish. But just a masterclass this week and a thoroughly deserved win. 274, the aggregate score this week. So those scorecards will be signed. She will attempt to dry off. We'll run through the highlights, go through the final leaderboard, and of course, the red carpet, literally and figuratively, will be rolled out on the 18th green. We'll let the sights and sounds carry us for now. I will be back shortly with the highlights, and we will tie a bow on this fantastic tournament.
지금 3636 2분 넣으세요. 텔레비전에 쌍둥이만큼 나왔다고. 그래서 353873 맞으세요? 예전에 버티고 준비해서 쓰러뜨기 위해서 이중대 인터뷰.
네, 안녕하세요.
Down to the green for the winners interview.
일단 제가 이렇게 스폰서 경기에서 우승을 하게 돼서 너무 기쁘다는 말로 표현이 안 될 정도로 너무 행복하고요. 또 제가 정말 오랜만에 우승을 하게 된 거였는데 이번 계기로 정말 남은 경기들도 힘낼 수 있을 것 같아서 너무 행복합니다. 일단 지난 경기에도 출전을 하면서 조금 감을 잡아왔고 이번 주 연습하면서 좀 제가 예전에 좀 자신 있게 샷을 하고 경기를 했었는데 이제껏 좀 그러지 못했지 않나라는 기분이 들었어서 좀 이번 주 준비를 좀 제 방식대로 공격적이면서 좀 확실하게 공략하려고 했던 게 잘 통했기 때문에 이번 남은 시즌에서도 좀 그걸 잘 발휘해 보려고 하고 있습니다. 너무 막 안전하게 공략하려고 하다 보면 또 미스가 났을 때 좀 좌절감이 생길 수 있기 때문에 좀 처음부터 확실하게 좀 제 스타일대로 공격적이게 하려고 노력을 했었고, 또 중간에 좀 실수가 오늘은 많이 하긴 했지만 그래도 잘 마무리한 것 같아서 행복합니다. 네. 예전에 이런 상황이 왔을 때 좀 항상 너무 잘하고 싶은 마음에 욕심에 조금 실수하면 많이 좌절하고 했었는데, 이번 경기는 좀 실수가 나왔을 때도 오늘 치면 이제 오늘 경기 끝나는데 약간 이런 생각으로 그 순간순간만 넘기고 생각하고 그냥 좀 제 플레이에 집중하려고 많이 노력했던 것 같아요. 정말 그 순간이 지금 약간 머릿속에서 이렇게 쓱 지나가는 것 같은데, 특히 그때도 굉장히 심적으로 힘들기도 했고 정말 우승이 간절했는데 그 순간 딱 나와줘서 너무 행복했던 기억에 울었던 기억이 있고, 지금은 또 너무 오랜만이라 지금 너무 신나는 기분밖에 안 드는 것 같아요. 너무 신나고 행복하고, 또 남은 경기들이 LPGA 경기에서 있겠지만 또 지금 같은 느낌 유지하면서 좀 이런 기분을 계속 살려보려고 하면서 경기하면 좋을 것 같습니다. 이제 바로 수요일에 미국으로 다시 출국을 해서 또 그 다음 주부터 경기가 있고 그 후에는 2주 연속 메이저 경기가 있기 때문에 좀 컨디션 관리도 잘 해가면서 감을 최대한 끌어올리려고 노력해야 될 것 같습니다. 오늘 정말 많은 분들이 오셔서 응원해 주셔서 좀 더 즐겁게 경기할 수 있었던 것 같은데, 특히 어제 신동미 회장님께서 직접 경기장까지 찾아오셔서 응원도 해주시고 항상 저희 롯데 선수들 응원 많이 해주시고 지원해 주셔서 덕분에 이렇게 좋은 성적을 많이 보여드릴 수 있는 것 같아요. 또 저희 팬클럽 월드킴 팬클럽 여러분도 항상 매대회 이렇게 따라와서 응원해 주셔서 너무 감사드리고, 저희 코치님, 저희 프로님이랑 저희 부모님 다 너무 감사드리고 사랑합니다. 네, 감사합니다.
Well, back where she belongs, or will feel like she belongs the most. Let's go through the highlights of the round. Starting the day, Jae-Jean with a 3-stroke lead after another round of 66 yesterday. And that was probably a horrifying thing to see if you were her group mates, hoping that you'd be able to catch up. Because she birdies the first when the other two had parred and extended her advantage to 4 strokes. Found herself in some trouble on the first par 3 of the day, though, from the thick rough, but she would not be perfect today. She would not need to be perfect, but this from the fringe, an uphill putt, trying to save a par and just coming up short. There would be a birdie in the group. She would drop, so it would be a 3-stroke lead. heading to 4. And while there would be some bogeys in the front 9 for Jae-Jin, there would not be for Chung Yoon-ji, who was par perfect and had to work for it at times. Getting rid of the bogeys was definitely a key for her today to stay in the race. On to 5, the par 4. Pitching wedge, the club of choice, and she goes right at the flag and gets the perfect amount of spin to stay right where she landed on the green, and she would slide in a birdie from there to go to 1 under through 5. Six would be next, and the yo-yo pendulum type of day would continue for her as she found herself in the sand, and that ball would pick up a little bit more speed, rolling away from the flag, coming back up to safe par, but she'd pull it. So she would bogey once more, back down to even, lead down to 3. 9 would be next. Still 15 for her, and 12 in her closest challenger. An uphill putt, and the putter so many times this week, her best club. She'd have that birdie to be under par at the turn, 16 under the score. It would not be straightforward on this back 9. Chung Yoon-ji, this was so delicate, near perfect from the rough. But it was a struggle for her to get to that point. She would bogey this, then at the treacherous par 3 12th. Not enough speed, looking to go uphill. It was a pretty good effort. Just enough. And that was big. She would have bogeyed there. 2 strokes would feel very slippery to try and get a firm grasp on. However, 13 would be next. She would miss that putt for par. It would be just a 2-stroke cushion. Chung Yoon-ji from 88 meters. A dart with a lovely bit of roll to within 6 feet. The downhill putt with a touch of right to left break. She would birdie and be into, at that point, a 3-way tie for second and back to even par for the day with a couple of bogeys in between her first that came at 10. Fast forward to 18. She could have won it outright, but she just needed to get close. Par would have been enough, and par was enough. The 11th win in her career, and the first since 2020. She became the 13th different champion of the Lotte Open, and Lee So-young with a big hug. Chung Yoon-ji respectfully congratulating her. Of course, there is a little bit of frustration in there as well, that she came close but just could not find her birdies today. Let's head down to the green where the tournament was won for our championship presentations.
당당하게 아마추어 1위를 차지한 양효진 선수입니다. 축하드립니다. 수석 부회장님께서 아마추어 1위 트로피를 수여해 주시겠습니다. 여러분 큰 박수로 축하해 주시죠. 기념 트로피와 함께 기념사진 촬영을 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 잘하십니다. 네, 앞에 오세요. 네, 감사합니다.
네, 다시 한번 축하의 박수를 보내주시길 바랍니다. 양효진 선수 다시 한번 축하드리고요. 시상자분께서 잠깐만 대기해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
We'll interject just to highlight a round of 69 to win the low amateur award for this tournament. And Jean from 16 spots today, tied for 15th. Absolutely wonderful to see. Jae-Jin has taken her rightful throne.
모시겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 굉장히 우승을 차지했습니다. 큰 박수로 축하해 주시죠. 롯데 오픈의 우승자 최혜진 선수가 지금 기념사진 촬영을 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
감사합니다.
네, 축하드립니다. 최혜진 선수. 자, 다음 시상으로는 롯데지주의 이갑 실장님께서 수고해 주시겠습니다. 이갑 실장님께서 롯데 오픈의 시그니처 챔피언 자켓을 수여해 드리겠습니다. 자, 너무나도 잘 어울리는 모습일 텐데요. 최혜진 선수 너무너무 축하드립니다. 자, 이번 대회 챔피언에게 시그니처 챔피언 자켓을 수여해 드렸고요. 자, 다음으로 이어서 트로피도 수여하도록 하겠습니다. 큰 박수로 축하해 주시죠.
자, 잘하셨습니다. 네, 앞에 오세요.
네, 롯데타워를 형상화한 멋진 트로피 들고 기념사진 촬영을 진행했습니다. 다시 한번 축하드립니다. 네, 이어서 다음으로는 시상수표와 부상 시상이 있겠습니다. 자, 우승자인 최혜진 선수에게 우승 상금 1억 4,400만 원이 수여되겠습니다. 여러분 큰 박수로 축하해 주시죠. 네, 최혜진 선수.
Well, draped in the Lotte red cape, gorgeous trophy. Check for 144 million won. Translates to about 89,000 British pounds, 110,000 American dollars, or 103,000 euros. This is the final leaderboard. A couple of other names to highlight. A -5 for Chae Bean, who we disappointed in the final finish for her after being the clubhouse leader, but a good round nevertheless. There is that 6 under, tied for 15th for our low amateur. Pak Bo-gyam shoots a 70 today to finish tied for 26th at 4 under. Chung Yeon-ju plus 375 for 3 under, tied for 34th. Bit of a disappointing day at the office. Couple of good rounds of 70, including Chae Eun-woo. Another low am, Oh Soo-min, 2 under par, despite being plus 2 today. Han Sung-yi, 69 to finish tied for 42nd. See a 4 under effort from Yoon Sun-jung, 68 tied for 50th position. And unfortunately, this part of the leaderboard, this is where things went wrong. Hung Ye-na, who's been brilliant as a rookie, could not get the mastery of this course. Plus 7 for Kim Bo-mi, 3. She made the cut. She was better than a good swath, 60, in fact, players. The 132 player field that began, but standing above the rest, Chae Hae-jin. A massive congratulations to her, and a massive thank you to you, our viewer, for being with us for this four-round competition. And from here, well, we will turn our sights to what is next on the LPGA Tour of Korea. We will not have to wait very long because the Celtrian Queens Masters is coming up on Thursday. 3 rounds at the Seolhaewon Country Club, playing the Legend course. 123 players in the field, with Peng Min-ji, our defending champion. But that is it for us, the Lotte Open, the 11th tournament of the 2023 LPGA Tour of Korea. One for the fans. The t-shirt cannon didn't always work successfully, but the supporters were always treated to moments with their heroes, moments with some bona fide superstars. And yes, the supporters for Chae Hae-jin will be elated, as will the 23-year-old Kim Yo-ju, snapping some pics of the crowning moment as Chae Hae-jin became the champion of the Lotte Open for 2023 with a 14 under performance. Our thanks to you once again. My thanks to the SBS Golf crew for providing the pictures and the sounds from across Bears Best Cheongna, who is of course a wonderful host once again. Goodbye for now. We will see you Thursday for the Celtrian Queens Masters. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we look forward to having you back soon on the LPGA Tour of Korea.